Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. My name is Utsav Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. A stampede broke out at the Maha Kumbh festival in the Indian city of Prayagraj. Multiple people sustained injuries and several are feared dead. The chaos began after barricades broke while devotees rushed to take a ceremonial dip in the river. The Indian Space Research Organisation, or ISRO, successfully launched its 100th rocket mission. The GSLV F-15 rocket successfully carried a satellite into space. This satellite, called the NVS-02, will replace an older one. It'll help provide better positioning services across India. The launch was ISRO's first mission of 2025. India has lodged a strong protest after the Sri Lankan Navy fired at Indian fishermen. This took place as 13 Indian fishermen were caught during routine patrols. 5 of them were injured due to gunfire and 2 required hospital treatment. India's Ministry of External Affairs has summoned the High Commissioner of Sri Lanka in New Delhi. India's budget for 2025 is set to be presented on the 1st of February by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. She's set to become the first Indian finance minister to present the budget 8 times in a row. Before that, she will table India's annual economic survey on Friday, January 31st. In the US, their president, Donald Trump, has invited Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to the White House on the 4th of February. Netanyahu is the first foreign leader to be invited to the US during Trump's second term. Trump has signed an executive order to restrict gender transition procedures for people under the age of 19. The order aims to limit federal support for transitioning children. This comes after Trump said that his government would only officially recognize 2 genders, male and female. Trump has offered a buyout to US federal government workers if they quit their job by February 6th. The buyout amount will be worth 8 months of their salaries. The move aims to shrink the US government workforce and end remote work. Trump's administration expects 5 to 10% of government employees to take the offer, potentially saving $100 billion annually. A US judge temporarily halted Trump's order to freeze hundreds of billions of dollars in federal grants and loans. The court ruling came minutes before the order was set to come into effect on Tuesday. It has been paused until next Monday. A man who allegedly planned to kill US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has been arrested. The suspect's name is Ryan English. According to a court filing, he turned himself in to the police at the US Capitol. The suspect came from Massachusetts. He had a folding knife and 2 Molotov cocktails on him when he walked up to a police officer to surrender. English allegedly told the officer that he was there to kill Scott Bessent. Denmark's Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen has said that there is no military threat to either Greenland or Denmark. This is despite US President Donald Trump's desire to take over Greenland, which is a Danish autonomous territory. Frederiksen said this after meeting European leaders and getting their backing. Trump says he wants to acquire Greenland, which is believed to hold large, untapped mineral and oil reserves. Russian President Vladimir Putin has said that peace talks are possible with Ukraine, but not with the country's President Volodymyr Zelensky. Putin called Zelensky an illegitimate leader. Putin also said that fighting between Russia and Ukraine would not be sustained if the West cut its support to Kyiv. Zelensky responded by saying that Putin was afraid of negotiations to end the Ukraine war. North Korea's leader, Kim Jong has vowed to continue his country's nuclear program indefinitely. He also warned of an inevitable confrontation with hostile nations. Kim said that 2025 would be a crucial year for bolstering North Korea's nuclear forces. He made the statement while inspecting a nuclear material production facility. North Korea says it seeks nuclear weapons to counter threats from the US and its allies, including South Korea. A plane caught on fire at the Busan airport in South Korea just as it was taking off for Hong Kong. All 176 people on board were evacuated, but 4 sustained minor injuries. The fire reportedly started near the plane's tail. Authorities are still investigating the cause of the fire. This is the second air disaster in South Korea in less than a month. 179 people were killed in a Jeju Air plane crash in December. Serbia's Prime Minister Milos Vučević announced his resignation on Tuesday. This comes after months of protests in the country over the collapse of a train station roof in November. At least 15 people lost their lives during the incident, which took place in the northern city of Novi Sad. The Serbian protesters blamed corruption and poor construction oversight for the roof collapse. They have vowed to continue the protests. The M23 rebel forces took control of Goma airport in the Democratic Republic of the Congo yesterday. This follows 3 days of clashes that have claimed over 100 lives. Nearly 1,000 people have also sustained injuries. Since 2021, the Rwanda-backed M23 rebels have seized large parts of the eastern DRC, which is a region rich in minerals. Moving to climate news now. Emergency services in Redon, a town in western France, are preparing for worsening floods. This is as heavy rainfall continues to submerge streets, houses and fields. The flooding, triggered by Storm Herminia over the weekend, has forced hundreds to evacuate. France's National Weather Agency has placed the region on a red alert. A severe cold snap has transformed Niagara Falls into a breathtaking icy landscape, with thick snow and ice covering the iconic landmark. Despite the extreme conditions, experts at the Niagara Parks confirmed that the falls never fully freeze. The mist and spray from the rushing water create a thick ice crust, giving the illusion of a frozen waterfall while water continues to flow beneath. A new study by the World Weather Attribution Group has linked climate change to the devastating wildfires in Los Angeles in the US. The fires killed at least 28 people and destroyed nearly 16,000 structures. Scientists found that climate change increased the likelihood of such fires by 35%, primarily due to prolonged drought conditions and stronger Santa Ana winds. A new study warns that dangerous temperatures could cause 50% more deaths in Europe by the end of the century. Even under optimistic climate scenarios, an additional 8,000 deaths per year are projected, while in the worst-case scenario suggests a staggering 80,000 extra fatalities annually. Southern Europe, particularly around the Mediterranean, is expected to experience the highest increase in heat-related deaths. Spanish fishers in Galicia are reporting an alarming decline in shellfish stocks, with some species plummeting by up to 90% in recent years. As Europe's leading source of shellfish and the world's second-largest mussel producer, Galicia's declining harvests pose a serious threat to the industry. Experts fear climate change, pollution and overfishing are exacerbating the crisis, threatening the livelihoods of thousands of local fishers. In business and tech news, Boeing reported an annual loss of $11.83 billion. The plane maker reported its largest loss since the year 2020. This comes as the company reels under issues with its commercial and defense units. The American plane maker is also witnessing a crippling strike by its West Coast factory workers. Smithfield Foods made a muted debut in the market. The company was valued at $7.7 billion after its shares fell by 3.2% yesterday. The largest U.S. pork processor's public offering received a lukewarm reception after Venture Global's underwhelming debut last week. Coles announced a 10% job cuts in its corporate workforce. The move is aimed at improving profitability. The decision will affect open positions and roles held by the company's associates. The decision came after the company announced the closure of its 27 underperforming department stores. BMW will propose that the European Union lower its tariffs on US car imports. The announcement was made by the German automaker CEO Oliver Zipse. He added that the company will propose bringing down the tariffs from 10% to 2.5%. This comes in the backdrop of US President Donald Trump's threat to impose or raise tariffs. The shareholders of Australia's Sigma Healthcare have approved the company's merger with Chemist Warehouse. The companies together will create a $5.5 billion pharmacy and retailing giant. More than 99% of proxy shareholders voted in favor of the deal. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum said that packaged food company Nestlé will invest $1 billion in Mexico. The investment will be made over the next 3 years. The investment is aimed at boosting the production of various products. Brazilian airline Azul said it has finalized its debt restructuring process. The company said that the process included the termination of almost $1.6 billion in debt from its balance sheet. The company also raised $525 million in fresh money. ChatGPT creator OpenAI said that Chinese firms are constantly trying to tap the US firms to improve their artificial intelligence. The company said it's important for them to work with the US government to protect the best models from adversaries. Apple's iPhone can now test Starlink's direct-to-cell capability, which provides coverage from space. The announcement was made by a program partner, T-Mobile. T-Mobile and Elon Musk's SpaceX are currently testing the Starlink cell network. Logitech has raised its yearly forecast after reporting higher sales and profit in the pre-holiday quarter. The rise in demand for company hardware by businesses and gamers boosted sales. The company has now raised its sales forecast between $4.54 and $4.57 billion. Earlier, it was projected to be between $4.39 and $4.47 billion. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. England beat India by 26 runs in the third T20 international of their ongoing 5-match series. India won the toss and opted to bowl first in Rajkot. Varun Chakravarti's 5-wicket haul helped the hosts limit England at 171 runs. Chasing the 172-run target, India could only score 145 for the loss of 9 wickets. Despite the loss, India still lead the 5-match series 2-1. South African cricket great AB de Villiers will return to professional cricket. This comes 4 years after the 40-year-old batter retired from all formats of international cricket. De Villiers will feature in the second edition of the World Championship of Legends competition. The T20 League is scheduled to begin in July this year. In football, Arsenal won their appeal against the red card issued to Miles Lewis-Skelly. The 18-year-old was issued the red card during Arsenal's 1-0 victory against Wolverhampton Wanderers last weekend. With this, Lewis-Skelly has avoided a 3-match ban he would have otherwise served. Celtic have agreed for a free transfer deal to re-sign Kieran Tierney from Arsenal. As part of the deal, the 27-year-old will move from Arsenal to Celtic later this year. The agreement was confirmed by Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers. Hundreds of football fans welcomed Argentine star Lionel Messi in Peru's capital, Lima. Messi waved at fans outside his hotel as elated admirers erupted in joy. Messi is in Peru along with his Inter Miami teammates and staff for a friendly match. Inter Miami will play a friendly game against the local powerhouse, Universitario, today. Sheffield United boss Chris Wilder has extended his contract until the end of the 27-28 season. The 57-year-old is in his second spell as Sheffield boss. He led them from League One to the Premier League in his first stint between 2016 and 2021, before returning in December 2023. In tennis, Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from Serbia's Davis Cup qualifiers first round against Denmark. This comes after the former men's world number one was forced to exit the Australian Open due to an injury. Last week, Djokovic advanced to the semi-finals of the Australian Open, but retired after one set due to what he described as a muscle tear. Former British boxer Amir Khan revealed that he has relocated his family to Dubai following a gunpoint robbery in London. In an interview, Khan said that he was targeted by armed robbers outside an East London restaurant for his over $89,000 watch. Following the incident, the 38-year-old said that he relocated his wife and 3 children to Dubai. Lewis Hamilton completed the latest Ferrari run in Barcelona. The 7-time world champion drove a 2023 F1 car at the home of the Spanish Grand Prix. After spending 12 seasons with Mercedes, Hamilton is building his experience with Ferrari as part of his acclimatization runs. An errant hammer thrown by a competitor struck and killed a spectator in Colorado State in the US. The incident occurred at a youth track and field meet at the University of Colorado's Colorado Springs campus. The victim has been identified as the father of one of the participants. We move to entertainment news now. A leaked voice note reveals that It Ends With Us director Justin Baldoni apologized to Blake Lively over disagreements regarding script rewrites. Baldoni's message, reportedly recorded at 2 a.m., acknowledges his missteps and expresses regret for his response to Lively's suggestions. The dispute emerged as part of Baldoni's ongoing $400 million lawsuit against Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. The rapper Snoop Dogg has responded to criticism after attending US President Donald Trump's inauguration ball. Amid the backlash, the rapper reassured fans that he remains 100% black and chooses to respond to negativity with love and success. He further addressed the controversy in an interview, stating that public figures will always face criticism, but he prefers to rise above it. Lady Gaga has addressed the negative reviews for the movie Joker Folie à Deux, which underperformed both critically and commercially. Lady Gaga said in an interview that she remains unfazed by the film's reception. She said, and I quote, "People just sometimes don't like some things, it's that simple." She emphasized that artists must be willing to accept that their work might not always resonate with audiences. Jisoo, a member of the K-pop group Blackpink, has signed with Warner Records. This is ahead of her debut solo mini-album called Armitage, set for release on the 14th of February. She expressed excitement about this new chapter in her career. Jisoo is the latest Blackpink member to secure a solo deal after the group parted ways with YG Entertainment for individual projects. The Jonas Brothers are reuniting with Disney. This is for a holiday comedy film slated for release in the Christmas 2025 season. The film has been tentatively titled Jonas Brothers Christmas Movie. The movie follows the trio as they face a series of mishaps while trying to get from London to New York for the holidays. The film will feature original music by Grammy nominee Justin Tranter. Tom Welling, best known for playing Clark Kent in the series Smallville, was arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol in California. Authorities found his blood alcohol level above the legal limit when he was stopped in a parking lot. The arrest came shortly after Welling celebrated his wife Jessica Rose Lee's birthday. Timothée Chalamet has revealed that he gained 20 pounds for his role in A Complete Unknown. It's a biopic about Bob Dylan's early career. In an interview, the actor shared that he underwent intense preparation, learning to play the guitar and perfecting Dylan's mannerisms. Believe it or not, I was thinner than the guy, Chalamet joked. Following the success of The Night Agent Season 2, fans may not have to wait long for Season 3. The script is reportedly complete and filming is set to begin in early 2025 in New York. The series, created by Sean Ryan and based on Matthew Quirk's novel, follows FBI agent Peter Sutherland as he uncovers deep-seated government conspiracies. Suits star Gabriel Macht has revealed that he deliberately keeps his personal life out of the spotlight. In an interview, he explained that after the show's final season in 2019, he and his family left the US to travel the world. He said, and I quote, "I don't tell anybody where I live because I like to keep that under wraps." The Matthew Perry Foundation has partnered with Massachusetts General Hospital to establish an addiction medicine fellowship in the late actor's honor. The fellowship will support physicians in addiction treatment research and care. The program begins in 2025. The foundation officials stated that Perry believed deeply in eliminating the stigma surrounding the disease of addiction. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching and stay tuned to Firstpost.